Hello everyone, it's Kalina, Kintsugi woman. How are you? I haven't posted anything recently. You know, my heart has been so heavy with all that's going on in Texas and the fires and everything. You know, and sometimes my eyes, I just feel like I'm seeing something that it's like this veil has to be dropped, and this sadness we've got in our hearts. Releasing that is really hard. Pretending that everything is okay. You know, as Kintsugi women, we've been so broken, and it seems that one after another keep things happen, and that's sad. And at times we feel lonely, we feel so broken, and we don't know where to go. If you could imagine yourself, I can see myself just so broken and fallen to the floor and just weeping and crying and so sad. And I can imagine all the mothers and fathers and grandparents that are out there, all the individuals that have lost their loved ones. They're just so broken and weeping and so sad. You know, if we could imagine ourselves as Kintsugi women, a stronger version of ourselves, if the one that I've gone through, all those things that I've gone through, I see my stronger self behind my broken self. I see that version of me, the stronger one, rising above me, holding me. That effervescent healing and light and love from God, from Gaia, from the universe. It's just showering down on us. Can you feel that love? Can you feel the ethereal threads pulling from me to you? No, there's so much. In our cracks, it seems have been widened again. But just feel the love that's passing through and healing. And so our cracks might be a little bit wider there. At times feel a little bit more thinner. But those are the times that we heal, and that it's like the scar tissue, right, of our bodies, of the love. It heals and it becomes thicker, and we can become stronger. So those cracks, if you've had surgery, you know what I'm talking about, the scar tissue, right? How it feels thicker or it feels harder. The skin just feels different, right? I had 3 babies, all C-sections. And, you know, the scars are there. But it reminds me, you know, of how strong I've had to be, and all the women that have gone through it. You know, I lost a baby too. And it was hard. But I have these from the C-section, right? You know, 50 years ago, I might not have lived. I couldn't have my babies naturally. I couldn't, you know, and a lot of women can't. And there's a lot of loss, a lot of sadness, a lot of pain that we go through every day. You know, we've all lost something, a relationship, our loved ones, and it has nothing like this, what people are going through with the flood. It's just so sad, and can't imagine, you know, it's just aching. It aches in my heart, you know, and I just, and my heart is with them. My heart is with them. So this Kintsugi love letter, you know, it's to you. So to release. And, you know, a lot of us have that weight in our hearts and our lives and the relationships that we've been carrying around that doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong to me, but we keep holding on to it. And it's in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts. We need to release. When we break through and we let go, it's like the toxins are coming out. The tears, all those tears, the weeping that we need to go through, the pain, right? So we release. And I know I hold it on too in my body. I hold it on, the weight, for some reason. I know I sit too much and things, but it's the weight. I know it's the emotional, it's the physical, it's the spiritual weight that we hold on to as Kintsugi women, you know. And it's like, it's hard to release that. Like, how do you let go of it? To let go of the pain, the loneliness, the sadness, our body is aching, our heart is aching, our mind is aching. It's like you can feel it, right? That energy. So we just have to release the toxins, release the pain, release and let go, and remember who you are. You're a Kintsugi woman, you're strong, you've gone through all those other things before, and you will again. And this broken sad version of ourselves, the angry, the pain, and all that we're going through. And there's more for us. And we will never have what we lost. That pain, that child, that we lost. The life, maybe, that we lost. But we begin again, and we are stronger. We become bolder and braver as Kintsugi woman. I'm your Kintsugi sister. I'm your star shining bright and stronger. Sometimes we feel like we dim our light, and other things take away that power, and we haven't got any choice. And so for a while, it's like we're still inside that chrysalis, and we're peeking out, and we need to see if it's safe for us to be out. Our chrysalis has kept us safe for so long, and we need to release and let go. So imagine yourself, imagine God and Gaia looking after us and healing the earth, healing the pain that's inside of us, healing all of those around us, all of our loved ones. Be with them and release and forgive and let go and receive God's love, receive all that the universe has for us. We have so much to be thankful for. So many have lost everything. They've lost family members, they've lost their homes, they've lost everything. And I can't imagine, but to begin again, many of us have done that with divorces and bad relationships, right? Many have gone through that. They've lost everything. They lost their houses, they lost their children, they lost through divorce or through separation, lost family members that they'll never see again, and they miss them, they love them, right? And it's like, how do we get back? But you just start over. Right? With the pain. And like all the financial stuff, it's a big burden. I know I went through that with my divorce too, right? And finally you get out of it, but it does take a while, right? There's always things that come up. It's like we need to take more control of ourselves, love ourselves enough to know that we're strong enough. We're strong enough to get through whatever we need to get through, right? The universe is pouring down that love and healing. We can feel like a flood that's been washed over us, right? And we are going to get through whatever we need to get through and survive and become stronger. I have my Zoom calls on Wednesday. I'm a Kintsugi woman, but I'm also a grandmother, and I belong to the Global Grandmothers Council Network. And it's a wonderful connection for you as a grandmother, if you're a grandmother. And, we've got over 55,000 grandmothers in 50 countries. And we've got this wonderful network of grandmothers that have started this, and I'm part of the magazine. I edit the magazine, and I have a Zoom call on Wednesdays. I'll put the links in here, but you should connect and look through the magazine and see what it is there that if you're a grandmother that has a program, if you're a coach, an artist, an author, we love to feature you. I'd love to feature your story. I'd love to be able to share what your journey has been. We are all so connected, and we're learning from each other, and we support each other. And it's time for you to connect with us and share and to inspire and empower. That's what my journey's been all about, as a Kintsugi woman. As this editor, I want to share and empower and lift up the grandmothers. Our mothers, our grandmothers, they didn't have that chance. They didn't have their voices weren't heard. They weren't able to speak the words they needed to say. And I am here to empower, and so that your voice, your story, your energy can be out there. I'm Kalina. I'm Kintsugi woman. I am a grandmother. I have fallen. I have wept. Those tears have fallen. And those memories have all brought me to today. We've all gone through whatever it is that we've needed to go through, all that brokenness so that we could come back together. And this scar tissue that's holding us together, this shining, the toxins we release on that scar tissue that's been gilded with gold. Feel like the gold leaf of God, of the energy. Just feel that on you. Healing. Receive the love, the healing. Know that you are so loved. Take care of yourself, love yourself, trust yourself. You're a Kintsugi woman. I'm Kalina, Kintsugi woman. I know those glasses, I don't like the way the light's shining on them, right? And sometimes it's like that. We have to take off the blinders. You have to take off whatever it is that we is in the way, right? We have to decide what we're going to let go of. What are you going to release today? Let go of, so you can receive. Right? And we have to decide for ourselves what it is that we want, what we need to do to heal, and receive. But we have to be ready. We have to be ready to receive. We have to be acknowledge and be strong enough to let go first of all, right? Many of us stayed in relationships way too long. And it hurt our kids, it hurt ourselves. And but now we broke through, we pushed through that chrysalis. And this shiny, I'm a bright, shiny star. You're a bright, shining star, right? You're my sister. You're my sister. And I love you. And I acknowledge you. And I accept you. Whatever it is you've gone through. All the disability that we've gone through of our hearts, our minds, and our spirit, right? The anxiousness, the anxiety, the pain. We release that and we give it to our Creator. We give it to the universe. And they receive that. Feel that ethereal energy coming down on you. Receive it. Receive the love and the healing. And shine brighter today. Connect with me, Kalina, Kintsugi woman. I've got a Facebook group there. You can connect with us and join and follow us on my Instagram. And I just would love to hear from you and connect with you. Join me on Wednesday mornings. Take care of you. Love you. Kalina, Kintsugi woman. Have a wonderful day.